Hey everybody, it's Dee here, and this is my third time recording this video today. After the second time, my phone died, and yeah, so I had to let it charge, and I realized the videos were getting really long. So the first one was 30 minutes, the second one was 20 minutes. I'm gonna try and cut that 20 minutes in half, and I actually kind of wrote down a little outline. Ta-da! So hopefully that'll make things easier. So, as you know, my last video was about, it was a tour of my apartment and just showing how I've decluttered and just the packing process I've been going through and getting ready to move. And my main goal was to downsize to get to the point where all my stuff will fit in my mom's van, because I'm moving back in with my parents, and I only want my mom to have to make one trip since I'm paying for the gas and everything. And then on top of that, I also don't want to have to rent a truck or anything. So there. And I also still have a lot of stuff at my parents' house that I'm going through. And as I said, I've decided to become minimalist because, I found I have way too much stuff, and it actually was starting to stress me out and not make me happy. And we're constantly given this message that the more stuff you have, the happier you're going to be. And that's far from true. Like, you feel happy the moment you buy something, but then that wears off, and then the next time you go shopping, you're on to the next thing. And growing up, I didn't have a lot. Like, I never went without anything I needed, but I didn't have a lot of stuff I wanted. I didn't have the nicest clothes, and I used to get picked on for a lot of that kind of stuff. And I felt the need, when I did start working at 16, to just fill the void. And I wasn't very responsible with my money. I would get my paycheck, and as soon as I got it, I would just go to the mall and just buy stuff. And I just kept repeating that process. And I felt like if I had nicer stuff, if I had more stuff, I wouldn't get made fun of so much, and people would like me, and that wasn't the case. And I had all this stuff, I didn't know what to do with it, and between me buying stuff and friends giving me stuff and my mom passing stuff down to me and so on and so forth, I ended up with more stuff than I ever needed. And I've moved several times in the last few years, and I've just been like carrying stuff with me that I don't even use. So a lot of that stuff I decided to donate or recycle or throw away or sell, depending on what it was. And I went through all my papers, because I tend to hold on to paperwork, and it drove me nuts constantly looking at it. And a lot of it was because I was afraid it was going to be important, but then I'd hang on to something for months, sometimes even years. Yeah, seriously, I held on to pieces of paper for years. And then it just got to the point where it was too much, I didn't need it, so I would get rid of it. And I also used to work in retail, and I was always seeing new stuff as it came into stores, and I fell into all those sales traps. I was always cruising the clearance racks, and I felt like I was always in competition to get the best deal on something, and that ended up in me just spending a lot of money, thinking, okay, I'm saving money because I'm not buying an item at full price, and that just led to me buying more stuff, and it wasn't good. And I just kind of came to the point where it's I need to slow down, I need to stop. All this stuff has held me back from doing things I want to and need to do with my life. So that's why I've decided to become a minimalist. Also, if you've watched any of my much older videos, I used to do couponing. I actually don't coupon anymore because I found myself buying a lot of stuff I didn't need, didn't use. I felt like I was actually spending more than I was saving. That and a lot of the products with coupons, I found most of those companies test on animals, which is something I don't find necessary. And I feel like, hairspray doesn't belong on hairs. Just gave you a pun there, haha. But anyways, so I've maybe got one item that isn't cruelty-free in my bathroom that I'm just trying to use up. But other than that, everything is either cruelty-free or handmade, which is also cruelty-free. And I tend to go for a lot more natural products for my body. And then I also decluttered my wardrobe. I'm down to about 75 items, but they're all items I really like that I think look good on me. And I started to notice certain trends of stuff I like and stuff that I don't like, with stuff that I was donating. And I live in Wisconsin, so like some items that they sell in stores just don't even make sense for the seasons. Because some things it's like a short sleeved sweater or like a 3/4 length sweater. It's just not really practical because one, it's either too hot for it or it's too cold to wear something like that. So things like that, it was just pointless for me to have. So I got rid of them. And I'm also working on building a capsule wardrobe. I'm planning to go with the Project 333. I haven't quite organized and curated my wardrobe, but I have done like the major decluttering. I just gotta kind of look through my items and figure for this coming season, being summer, what I want to incorporate in that capsule wardrobe. But I will eventually do a closet tour as well as a capsule wardrobe for summer. And then I'm also just going to look at my items. I already know there's a couple gaps I need to fill. There's like items that I'm missing that I know I can utilize. But I'm going to wait a little bit to buy that stuff just because I am moving and I don't want to buy stuff and then have to move it because that would be pointless. And then I've also decided, because I do enjoy knitting and a lot of other like DIYs and stuff like that, which are other things I plan to do videos on. For example, my winter gear, because I do want to get a newer winter jacket that's going to wear better, it's going to be warmer, and just be something I absolutely love. I do want to actually make like a hat, mittens, and scarf to go with. And then also, I want to, instead of buying like a comforter, I do want to knit my own blanket. And I've noticed a lot of, before I even started this whole decluttering process, I did what I'd like to call a yarn purge, where I basically took all the yarn that I had, and I had a lot of yarn, and I just went through it all. This was back in like February, and I just made whatever I could with the yarn that I had. And I do have a couple unfinished projects that I plan on finishing. I just need to get more yarn to finish them. But I'm going to start off only buying the yarn I need to finish those, and then move on to the other projects. And I will actually show you the items I completed with my yarn purge. And most of those I do plan on selling. So, that's just one thing I did. And then another thing, just to save money and for my health that I did, is I used to be a smoker, and I actually began my process of quitting smoking in February as well. And I'm almost there right now. I've only smoked a couple of times within the last couple of months. And right now I am on the 7 milligram patch. It did take me a little longer than the 8 to 10 weeks or whatever. But I am finally getting there. I feel like I'll need another 2 weeks with the 7 milligrams. But I think after that, I think by the time I move down to Milwaukee, I'll be able to go completely cigarette free, which is huge for me. Because not only is it saving money, but my health is going to be better. And I've noticed when I do smoke, I tend to get like a sore throat now, and I tend to feel like I'm getting a cold or something, and I don't like that feeling anymore, and I don't like the smell of it, and I was always afraid I was smelling like smoke when I would go into work, and now that's not so much of a concern for me anymore. I mean, I still have friends that smoke, and that has made it more difficult, but everybody's been really supportive, which has been nice. But I've got one friend I do smoke around whenever I hang out with her, but I've really got to get in the habit of not being tempted around her. But other than that, that whole process has been going great. And then I'm also working on going more towards like clean eating. I want to purchase food that's more ethically sourced and not so processed, things like that. And I'm actually, the reason I'm moving back in with my parents is we actually got in a car accident right after Christmas, and I can't go into too much detail about it due to legal stuff, but right now my dad's not working. We all made it out alive, which is great, and we were actually able to walk away from the accident, but my parents do need some help right now, and I figured it would be better for me to help them. Plus, living where I do now, I'm not my happiest. I feel kind of like an outcast, kind of lonely. I moved for the wrong reasons, I guess, because I moved basically to be with a guy, but things didn't work out, long story short. And I mean, I did want to get in a year with my job, and I've been with my job for a little over a year. I got my own place, and that's been great, but I kind of feel I don't feel happier. Like, I can truly be myself here. And Milwaukee, which is where my parents live, that's my hometown where I'm originally from. I've always felt very at home there, so that's why I'm moving back. Plus, that whole car accident, it made me realize how important the people in my life are. Where I value people, I value my cats, and I value my job and my hobbies way more than I value materialistic things. And I never set out to be a materialistic, hyper-consumeristic person, but I've ended up with a lot of stuff, and it's just, that's not who I want to be. So that's why I decided to start getting rid of a lot of stuff and just become more of a minimalist. And it's not a competition as to who has the least amount of stuff. It's having the things you need, you love, and that are useful and beautiful to you. That's what it's about. And enjoying the little things in life, and just learning to be happy with less, and knowing you don't need things to be happy. And also, with moving back with my parents, my mom's always struggled with organizing and decluttering, and I want to be able to help her out with that and just find a system that works for her, because I know she gets overwhelmed with, being consumed by stuff. And growing up, our house was always very busy and chaotic and full of stuff. And I want to help my mom be able to organize and have a better system, especially since our house is going to be fairly crowded when I move back in, because it's going to be me and my cat. And my parents already have my other cat, Snow, and 2 cats of their own. My brother and sister live there. It's only a 3-bedroom, and it's not a very big 3-bedroom, so yeah. And also, okay, here I am. So, along with that, like I said, I've finally become inspired again to make more videos. So if you want, I'm going to probably do more in this minimalism series as I declutter, as I help my mom to declutter, different DIYs that I do to save money and beautify my space, figuring out the best way for me and my sister to rearrange our room so it works for both of us, and things like that, along with like lifestyle type things, just adventures in Milwaukee. I'll probably do an updated closet tour and then share some of my favorite things and knitting tutorials. So if you want to see more of that, be sure to like, comment, and subscribe. Peace out. Bye.